Imagine finding your wife on a dating app, using the exact photo you took of her on vacation, and under her profile, looking for fun, nothing too serious. That's the night I realized my marriage wasn't what I thought it was, and this is how the woman I loved turned my life into a lie. My name is Williams Thompson. I'm 32 years old, and until a few months ago, I thought my marriage was strong. Melissa and I had been together for 5 years, married for 3. We weren't perfect, but I believed we had something real. I worked hard as a tech consultant, often late nights, long hours. Melissa used to joke that my laptop was my mistress, but I always made time for her vacations, anniversaries, even surprise dinners. I thought that was enough. That Tuesday night was supposed to be like any other. Melissa was humming in the shower, steam drifting out from under the bathroom door, while I sat on the bed replying to a few emails before calling it a night. Then her phone buzzed on the nightstand. Normally, I ignored her notifications. That's what trust means, no need to check. But something in my gut told me to look. My hand hovered for a moment, guilt pressing down, but I picked it up anyway. The screen lit up. My chest tightened. It wasn't Instagram. It wasn't Facebook. It was a dating app. With shaky hands, I tapped it open. There she was, Melissa, 29, smiling in a photo I had taken of her at the beach last summer. Wind in her hair, golden sunset behind her, her favorite picture. Underneath her name was a bio that made my blood run cold. Looking for fun, nothing too serious. In that moment, everything I thought I knew about my marriage cracked. I stared at the screen, my heart pounding so hard I could hear it in my ears. Maybe it was a prank, I told myself. Maybe someone stole her picture. But when I scrolled further, the truth screamed at me. Messages, dozens of them, men complimenting her, asking her out, telling her she was gorgeous. And Melissa, my wife, was replying. Not with polite thank yous, not with brush-offs, but with flirtation. Handsome, I love your energy. Maybe we should grab a drink sometime. I felt like the ground was tilting under me. My hands shook so badly I almost dropped the phone. Melissa, the woman who promised me forever, was advertising herself like she was single, like I was invisible. Then the shower turned off. The bathroom door creaked open. Melissa walked out, towel wrapped around her, humming like nothing was wrong. My voice cracked as I shoved the phone in her face. What the hell is this? She blinked at the screen, then smirked. Williams, it's just for fun. Everyone does it. I'd never actually meet anyone. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. She thought breaking my trust was a game. Melissa sat on the edge of the bed, towel slipping as she folded her arms. You're overreacting, she said coldly. It's harmless. I just like the attention. I'm not going out with these men. Her words were knives. Attention? Wasn't my attention enough? I worked myself to exhaustion to give her a good life, and she went searching for thrills with strangers? I pressed her, my voice trembling. So you admit you made a profile? She rolled her eyes. Yes, but it doesn't mean anything. I wanted to believe her. God, I wanted to. But something in her tone told me she was hiding more. That night, while she drifted off to sleep beside me, I stayed awake. My heart thudded painfully in my chest as I unlocked her phone again. I checked her email. Then her location history. My worst fears came true. There were dinner reservations, rideshare receipts, a hotel booking. She hadn't just flirted. She had followed through. The betrayal was deeper than I ever imagined. The next morning, I couldn't hold it in. I confronted her with the receipts, the emails, the undeniable proof. Melissa's face drained of color. She tried to deny it at first, but when I pushed harder, she broke. Tears streamed down her cheeks as she sobbed. It was just once, I swear. I was curious. I made a mistake. Her excuses twisted like a knife in my chest. Just once? Curiosity? A mistake? She had walked willingly into another man's arms. I wanted to scream, but all that came out was a whisper. Why? She sobbed harder, clutching at me. Because you're always working. I felt lonely. I needed to feel wanted, lonely, needed to feel wanted, as if my love, my sacrifices, my late nights to support us, meant nothing. But what cut deepest was knowing it wasn't just once. Her phone held plans for another weekend, another hotel, another man. She wasn't sorry. She was sorry she got caught. I spent the next few nights in silence, lying awake while Melissa slept soundly beside me. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw the messages, heard her laugh, imagined her in someone else's arms. The vows we spoke at our wedding replayed in my mind like a cruel joke. For better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health. She had promised loyalty. and she had thrown it away for cheap attention. Love without loyalty is nothing, and once loyalty is gone, all that's left is ashes. By the fourth night, I realized I couldn't live like this anymore. I confronted Melissa again, this time with calm I didn't feel. She tried her same lines. It was harmless. It was just once. I'll stop. I promise. But my heart was already gone. I told her the truth. I don't recognize you anymore. You're not the woman I married. She broke down, sobbing, clawing at my arm, begging me not to leave. She promised she'd delete the apps. She swore she'd never do it again, but promises mean nothing from a liar. That night, I packed a suitcase. Melissa's screams echoed through the house as she realized what I was doing. She tried to block the door, clinging to me like her tears could glue our marriage back together. But I walked past her. My chest felt like lead, but my steps were steady. For the first time in months, maybe years, I felt a strange sense of control. I wasn't abandoning her. She had abandoned me long ago, the moment she chose betrayal over loyalty. I checked into a hotel that night. The silence was deafening, but for once, it wasn't filled with lies. I stood in front of the bathroom mirror, staring at my reflection. My knuckles were white from gripping my suitcase handle. My eyes were bloodshot, my chest hollow. But beneath the pain, I saw something I hadn't seen in a long time. Melissa had stolen my trust. She had crushed my heart, but she hadn't destroyed me. The following week, I met with a lawyer. My hands shook as I signed the papers, but my mind was clear. This marriage was over. There was no coming back from what she had done. Melissa begged when she was served. She cried. She bargained. She promised counseling, therapy, anything to make me stay. But her promises were as empty as the hotel rooms she filled with strangers. I chose myself. After I left, Melissa spiraled. She called me day and night, leaving voicemails filled with sobs and apologies. She told me she was lonely, scared, that no man would ever love her the way I did. But her regret came too late. You can't light a fire to someone's heart and then beg them not to burn. In the months that followed, I rebuilt, piece by piece. I focused on work, on my health, on rediscovering the parts of myself I had lost in the chaos. The pain didn't vanish overnight, but slowly, it began to dull. I realized I was stronger than I thought. I realized betrayal doesn't define you, how you rise after it does. 2 months later, the divorce was finalized. Melissa cried in the courtroom, but I didn't shed a tear. She thought this was just a game. She thought she could flirt with strangers, lie to my face, and still keep me. But here's the truth. Love is not a game. Marriage is not entertainment. And betrayal always comes with a price. Melissa lost me forever. And that was the ending she never saw coming.
Some betrayals you can patch up. Others, they leave scars too deep to heal. Williams chose dignity over destruction, and Melissa learned too late that love is not a game. Would you have forgiven or walked away like he did? Share your thoughts. And if this story struck you, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because the next betrayal story will cut even deeper.